Hi everyone, my name is Josh Hirsch, and I'm the Education and Training Strategist at Fundraise Up. Welcome to our Earth Day edition of Fundraiser to Fundraiser, where we meet with nonprofits to discuss best practices in fundraising. Today, I'm joined by Fundraise Up client Alexa Castellano, Individual Giving Manager at Trees for the Future. Welcome, Alexa. But before we get into it, can you share a little bit about yourself and about Trees for the Future?
Sure. So I've been with Trees for 5 years. Trees for the Future confronts hunger, poverty, and environmental degradation by serving the people at the heart of our global food systems, farmers and their families. We work with thousands of farmers across sub-Saharan Africa to help restore their land through sustainable farming practices, which we call the forest garden approach. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, phenomenal. I love it. I love learning about new organizations that I didn't even know existed out there. It's incredible the sort of social impact our sector can make, not only just on Earth Day, but, all year round. But, we are here to talk about Earth Day. So I'm curious, what have been, and you can give us, one example or multiple, some successful campaigns around Earth Day, and specifically what made it so successful?
Yeah, definitely. So we see our Earth Day campaigns as a way to not only raise money for our programs, but to raise brand awareness and mobilize impact at all levels. That being said, last year was one of our more successful fundraising campaigns, and I could bring that back to, I think, 3 things. The first is having strong marketing materials. So we work really closely with our marketing team, and we have a tailored campaign each year that relates back to our brand messaging. This year, our campaign is called Stand for What You Stand On. It's an action-oriented campaign, given the state of the world, that's encouraging our audience to stand for what we stand on, which is a planet. We have found that engaging our entire audience, not just the people who our fundraising goals are related to, but, our corporate donors, our ambassadors, has made our campaigns really strong. And having targeted messaging and, tailor segmentation to make sure that people feel included, and that we're meeting them where they're at has been important as well. And finally, I'm sure this is not a surprise, but having a match on Earth Day has been really impactful for us. And everyone loves a goal and something that they can accomplish. And we've been able to not only inspire momentum, reactivate inactive fundraising teams and groups, but also gain new major donors that way.
And you're playing on the psychology of gamification. And as you said, we all love that goal that we're trying to achieve. But I think what is really important, and for everyone watching this, the symbiosis of your marketing team and your development teams working together to ensure that you have right brand strategy, that you're able to, focus on mission impact, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we also need to get our fundraising message out there as well. Really, really great stuff. But as we know, one-time donors are phenomenal. But what we really want to do is bring them more into our conversation, bring them to further invest from a philanthropic standpoint in what we're able to make a difference in this world. How can we make them go beyond just that one-time donor on a giving day like Earth Day or any other amazing day? But how can you get them into becoming a repeat donor, into long-term supporters?
Yeah, this can be challenging, and I think that the first step is doing what I think any organization does, which is just emphasizing gratitude and sharing impact. But one thing that we do in particular is treat every one-time donor, any new donor, like they are the most engaged donor that we have. So we treat them like a monthly donor. We give them that special treatment, behind the scenes footage, all of the things that we try to do to not only connect people to their impact, but make them feel like they're really seeing the activities that are happening day to day at our organization. We also ensure that they're enrolled on our e-newsletter list so that they're receiving all the stories that we're putting out. And what we really try to do with that is prioritize quality over quantity. We want to make sure that if you're opening something from us, it's has substance. It feels like you're learning something, or you're inspired, or you're seeing your impact truly. And a lot of the stories that we do put out center our farmers that we work with, because I think that really is the centerfold of the work that we do, and it helps people to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment in what they're able to make possible through their support.
Focusing on the impact of that gift through that quality messaging over quantity is always the approach to take. I would rather, as a donor to an organization, you talk to me once every 6 months, but share really important content that's relevant to show how my $10 a month is making a difference for the organization's focus, versus every other week you're sending me updates. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that strategy. But if there's not substance in those communication touches, you're going to get me to start to unsubscribe. And at that point, we're going to lose that potential impact.
Thanks.
So Earth Day is not just for environmentally focused organizations. We really want to encourage everyone to participate. What is one thing that a non-environmentally focused nonprofit can do to support Earth Day specifically?
Yeah, I love this question, because it really made me think. All of us live on this planet, and we all rely on this planet. And so anything that impacts our planet, our environment, impacts us all. And although all the different causes that we all work towards in the nonprofit space are so important, I can guarantee you that that cause itself is impacted by an environmental issue, or exacerbated by climate change, or the people that you're supporting are impacted by environmental issues or climate change. So I think that this Earth Day, there's a really exciting opportunity for you to educate your audience on how your cause is related to an environmental issue. For example, if you're a nonprofit that's working with migrants or refugees, I'm sure that you know that by 2050, 1.2 billion people could be displaced due to climate change or related disasters. Or if you work in public health issues, you might know that infectious diseases are going to only rise in their transmission due to climate change, or that access to nature has major implications on physical or mental health. But although you might know those things, your supporters might not. So this is a really fun way to go outside of that usual messaging, but really educate and also inspire. If you wanted to go one step further, you can share petitions that people can sign and ways that they can get involved, because it's one thing to educate, but I think people want to know what they can do with that information, and you can do that.
Alexa, you give us so many great things and action items that we can all do, no matter our causes and what we're supporting. I love the viewpoints that you brought. I wanted to thank you again for joining us on Earth Day's edition of Fundraiser to Fundraiser. Now, if those watching over, and I have to say, you have the best website tied to your cause. How can those watching find out about you?
Yes, thank you. So if you are interested in learning more about what we do, please visit us at trees.org and learn more.
It doesn't get better than that. Trees.org.
Easy.
Whoever got that domain, whenever they did, brilliant. Brilliant.
Yes.
Alexa, this has been fabulous. Thank you again. Have a great one. See you next time.
You too. Thank you. Thank you so much.